Welcome back, everybody, back with a video. Today, we're going to be looking at the day number 1 of the E7 World Cup 2025. So today, we are going to be looking at one character that stood out the most from the recent balance patch on day number 1 of the E7 World Cup. There are some other units that were picked inside here that was buffed recently, but they are not competing with this character. This character used to be so broken back in the day. He was literally one of the few units to ever get nerfed inside Epic 7. It is going to be Sage, Baal, and Sezan. Sage, Baal, and Sezan got buffed recently, where basically brought him back to his true form. Maybe even stronger. Actually, I think he is way stronger than his true form from back then. So basically, they gave him additional strip on his S2. Before it was just Dispel 1 debuff, which is actually basically useless in my opinion. Now he has Dispel 2 debuff, which is fantastic. But not only does he have that, they also did add and did tweak his S3 a little bit. Now his S3 is doing damage proportional to his max HP, not compared to how much HP he did lose. That is very, very good. Now on top of that, they also included, if they are slept, the damage dealt is absolutely insane, even more, right? So damage increase if they are slept. So just keep that in mind. So now, with the S2, you can literally S2, strip 2 debuffs, sleep them, soul burn, you get an extra turn into an S3, which is very, very crazy. That means you can be basically guaranteed doing a big chunk of damage with Sage, Baal, and Sezan now, right? On day number 1 of the E7 World Cup, he was picked 7 times, and he won 6 of those games. That is kind of crazy win rate when you really look at it. Compared to all the other ones, they weren't cutting it at all. Sage, Baal, crazy. So let's get into it, right? Game number 1, he was going against, this is going to be KJ versus Mutsumi, right? We do see Spez picked alongside Sage, Baal, which honestly is not that bad of an idea because obviously Sage, Baal can sleep. Once Sage, Baal sleep, Spez is going to get the 100% full pen. Very, very good. This is why I do like the Spez pick. Again, now this is KJ, and KJ's gear is absolutely insane, so don't go ahead and try to copy this. Just keep in mind, KJ's gear is absolutely, like 8K or whatever, trying to score. It's actually crazy. So just keep that in mind when you are watching this gameplay. Don't try to test it out yourself. It's probably not going to work out, right? So again, completely understandable why we do see Spez here when you do draft Sage, Baal. So let's get a look at the draft, right? We are going to be seeing Spez get the ban, right? Spez is going to get the ban in this situation, which is completely understandable because obviously Spez with the 100% pen is absolutely disgusting. It can literally, basically one-shot the entire team over there. Yes, there's Celine there, but guess what? Spez can S2, stun into an S3, so he can literally just solo the Celine by himself. No problem whatsoever, right? So, we do see Dominio go ahead and S3. It will give you attack buff to the Sage, Baal. Now, we do see a 22k HP Sage, Baal. Now, keep this in mind, alright? So, Carmen is on Aureus. They are slept. So, this is going to be an attack buff Sage, Baal, and Sezan on to a, basically, Urban Shadow's Shoe with a Aureus. And he does 13.6k. That is through Aureus as well. I don't know if you realize how crazy that is. This is just basically a full HP Sage, Baal, and Sezan. This is literally him just taking 1 turn. That is kind of crazy damage when you really sit there and think about it. That's a free 13.6k. Like, bro, what? Like, huh? That's kind of disgusting. Now, if Aureus wasn't there, he's maybe doing what? 17k? 17, 18k? Which is kind of crazy for this character. Again, if you need a reason to build this character, this right here is exactly why. He is absolutely a menace inside of RTA. The buffs he got recently is very, very good. Now let's go look at another game. I do think the next time we do see him is going to be FacePump versus Syac. I think it's the first game. Let me double check as well. Let me try to skim through this. It's not the first game. I think it's the second game. Where it's versus a Huayang. And it's very disgusting. Is it this one? Is it this draft? Let me see it. I think it is this draft. No, that's SSB. Okay, it's not that one. But yeah, Again, I really recommend start building Sage Baal Sezan. I do think he's gonna be the prize of the Bad patch, right? So we do see here. So we do see a Sage Baal yet again. Now and again, he is what, pick number 2. You can pick Sage Baal Sezan. I've seen some early pick Sage Baal. I've seen some late pick Sage Baal from the E7 World Cup. And overall, oi. When I play RTA, I have no idea how I'm going to deal with this Sage Baal unit. I like that he's back to his form. But man, whew, disgusting of a unit, right? So let's go ahead and go to the draft. We do see Kayron buff, Kayron banned, and we do see Mort banned. Now, into the turn order. Assassin, of course, taking the first turn. Gab, going to go on a Renak. Completely understandable, right? Because Renak's going to be the one taking it close to CR. We do see Hua Young proc her passive. Now, keep in mind, she's doing additional damage to light units. Now, you can build with Sage Baal as much as you want, right? You could do it with Zombie 8 HP if you really want to. Less HP, the faster, ER, effectiveness, is all up to you. But honestly, HP is going to be the way because it does more damage on his S3. So just keep that in mind. When you do build him, HP is ideal, right? So Syac, proc, the Hua Young, which was going to happen regardless, right? He's hitting Renak. It's going to do more than 50%. So it's going to proc the Bystander Hua Young. Now, Bystander Hua Young does extra damage to light. She is going to go into Sage Baal. And it does about 20k. This Bystander Hua Young did not kill this Sage Baal. The Sage Baal is about 25k, which is kind of crazy to think about. But the funny thing is, you would think Hua Young can 1v1 Sage Baal Sezan. The thing is, she cannot. She could not 1v1 Sage Baal Sezan unless she does get countered. Unless she counters, right? Sage Baal Sezan, 25k, no attack buff, no sleep, by the way, is ripping S3 into a Bystander Hua Young. Now, it does about 14.1k damage. If this FCC was not there, this Bystander Hua Young would literally get one-shot by this Sage Baal Sezan. Literally, Syac Sage Baal would literally just one-shot FacePump Bystander Hua Young. That's kind of crazy. Like, huh? Like, bro, what? Overall, when I was watching these E7 World Cup games and I keep seeing Sage Baal Sezan, I really kept an eye on this character because every time he was picked, he literally almost won every single game. He could literally one-shot a unit by himself, which is disgusting. This is a good example right here, right? No sleep on the Bystander Hua Young. She had a lot of defense, right? Because it's her passive. And you would see here, she did not one-shot Sage Baal with the S3. But he almost one-shot her with the S3. Only reason she's alive is because of Aureus. That is it. Nothing else. So, whew, man, I'm going to go ahead and build my Sage Baal Sezan. It is definitely worth it. Now let's go into the next game. I do think he was picked as well. I don't think he was picked in the Nero versus Bats series. I don't think he was. Maybe he was. Let me double check. So I mean, we can look at this game. So Nero versus Bats. We do have Sage Baal going through here. We do have Celine and Haste. A very, very good ban by Nero. Just get rid of the Haste because honestly, Haste is a problem here. But honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I did not like. I don't like the Bat draft here. But again, Nero kind of read him like a book, to be honest, in terms of bans. I think Haste is a perfect fine ban because we knew Bat was not going to ban the Hua Young. And now since Bat did not ban the Hua Young, he can pretty much get 1v4 by this Hua Young. Now let's get into it. We are going to be seeing the... Actually, no, never mind. That's this game. Not this game. It's a very similar draft, but it was not that game. Here it is. Here it is. So now the draft over here, same situation, kind of weird by the Bat. The draft and all that, we do see Sage Baal going through. Now, this is basically just trying to showcase the damage you can really do. And the CR push that he does get. Again, every single turn, he's going to get 15% CR when you take a turn. So it's kind of crazy, right? Even with Sigma and all that, it's so good, right? So there you go. Sage Baal Sezan got pushed up. Not too shabby. Bats pushes S3 on Ran, which he should have just held, to be honest. It would have been a different game. Yes, this is an RNG win, technically you could say, because Rwanda missed on Sage Baal Sezan. But again, we ain't looking at that. We're over here looking at the amount of damage Nero Sage Baal can do. So this is a 20k Sage Baal. He is going to rip S2. He's going to sleep the Ran, which means now his S3 is going to be doing a lot more damage. And then on top of that, he's going to be ripping it, obviously, into the Ran. And it is going to do 20k. 20k, 223. Again, that is kind of just crazy work, right? Again, Sage Baal Sezan, absolutely a menace on day number 1 of E7 World Cup. Literally, almost every single game he was picked in, he won. The only game he lost was with Light, sadly. It was Light, and it was just kind of a draft error. I did not like the draft whatsoever. We do see the draft here. We see Sage Baal, Celine, Lionheart. I see those 3 characters together. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the draft whatsoever. And Techron, like, oh, hey man. Hey, like, come on. Well, what's this draft, man? I really was not a fan of that draft. But then again, we do see here, Sage Baal really does nothing. He does do some damage. We do see Light Sage Baal S2, S3 into the Conquer Lilius. 20k over here. Again, Karma is in play. She does have Aureus. And I'm pretty sure she does reduce single target damage. So Sage Baal Sezan, Ribbon S3 is going to do about 11k, but again, I'm pretty sure because of Karma's passive, I think it reduces single target hits. I'm pretty sure it does. I don't remember what this character looks like in terms of passive. But other than that, though, this is pretty much just recapping day number 1. I do think, he was definitely worth talking about. But other than that, though, thank you for watching the video. Hope you have a good day, and peace out.